You've created a story in your head where I've checked out, but in reality, I'm still fully invested in us. The distance you feel is a product of your own doubts, not my heart changing. You've allowed fear to rewrite our story, and now you believe that I've given up. But I haven't. I'm still standing right beside you, waiting for you to realize that your mind is playing tricks on you. You've let your thoughts build a narrative where I no longer care, but that's so far from the truth. My love for you hasn't wavered. It's your fears that are pulling us apart. You've convinced yourself that I've drifted away, but I'm still right here, holding on to us tighter than ever. Your mind has created a misconception that's hurting us both. You've painted me as distant in your mind, but I've been closer than ever, loving you quietly through the storm of your doubts. I just need you to believe in us again. You've let your insecurities build walls between us, walls that I never intended to be there. My love hasn't changed, but your mind has convinced you otherwise. You've let doubt creep into your heart, turning me into someone unrecognizable. But I'm still here, still in love with you, waiting for you to realize the truth. You've created a world in your mind where I've given up, but I'm still fighting for us every day. It's your fears that have built this gap, not my actions. You've convinced yourself that I am no longer invested, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm still here, still loving you with everything I have, but your mind has twisted things. You've let your imagination run wild, building a scenario where I've stopped caring. But in reality, my heart is still beating for you, just as it always has. You've created a version of me in your mind that isn't real, one that no longer cares. But I'm still here, loving you deeply, despite the misconceptions that have taken hold in your thoughts. You've let your doubts grow into a false reality where I've drifted away. But in truth, I'm right here, as committed to us as ever. It's your fears that are standing between us. You've painted a picture in your mind of a love that's fading, but the truth is, my heart still burns for you. It's your own thoughts that have cast a shadow over us. You've allowed fear to cloud your perception of my feelings, making you believe I've let go. But I'm holding on just as tight as before, waiting for you to see through the haze of doubt. You've built a narrative where I'm the one who's changed, but it's your own mind that's shifted. I'm still here, loving you fiercely, despite what you've convinced yourself to believe. You've convinced yourself that I've grown distant, but that's far from the truth. My love hasn't wavered, but your mind has created a gap that doesn't need to exist. You've let your thoughts twist things into believing that I don't care anymore, but my heart is still fully invested in you. It's your fears that have created the illusion of distance. You've allowed doubt to creep into your heart, convincing you that I've stopped loving you, but I'm still here, fighting for us, even though your mind has tried to push me away. You've created a story in your head where I've walked away, but I'm still standing right here, loving you the same as always. It's your imagination that has taken you down a path that isn't real. You've let your insecurities build a wall between us, a wall that I didn't create. My love for you hasn't changed, but you've convinced yourself that I've moved on. You've let your mind create a false narrative where I'm distant, but in reality, I'm still right here. Your fears have clouded your judgment, but I'm still fighting for us. You've convinced yourself that my feelings have faded, but the truth is, I'm still here, loving you with all my heart. It's your doubts that have created a reality that doesn't exist. You've let your thoughts run wild, building a world where I've grown cold. But I'm still as warm and in love with you as ever, waiting for you to see past your own fears. You've allowed your mind to paint a picture of me walking away, but I'm still holding on, waiting for you to realize that it's your fears, not my actions, that have changed things. You've created a version of us in your mind where I've let go, but I'm still here, loving you just as fiercely as always. Your fears have distorted the truth, but my heart hasn't changed. You've convinced yourself that I've moved on, but that's not the reality. I'm still here, fully invested in us, but your thoughts have taken over, creating distance where there should be none. You've let your insecurities convince you that I've stopped caring, but I'm still here, loving you deeply. It's your own fears that have built the walls between us. You've allowed your mind to craft a story that isn't real. The distance you feel isn't because I've stopped loving you, but because you've built a wall with your own thoughts, shutting me out. The ideas you've conjured up about us are far from the truth. I'm still here, loving you in every way I can, but you've let your fears create a gap between us. You've misunderstood my silence, thinking it's distance. The truth is, I've been quietly trying to figure out how to reach you through the storm of your doubts. The love I have for you hasn't faded. It's your own imagination that's convinced you otherwise. I wish you could see me clearly, without the shadows of fear. You're letting your mind weave tales that are tearing us apart. I need you to know that I am still here, still devoted, and still in love with every part of you. The misconception you've built in your mind is growing larger with each passing day. You think I've changed, but it's your perception that's shifted. I'm still the same, still here. Your thoughts have run away with fears and doubts, turning me into a villain in your story. But I've been here all along, loving you with every beat of my heart. You've created a narrative that I've lost interest, that I've drifted away. But the truth is, I'm still here, closer than ever, waiting for you to tear down the walls of doubt. I can see the storm raging in your mind, painting me in a light that isn't real. You think I've let go, but I'm still holding on to us, stronger than ever. You've let your fears speak louder than my actions. My love for you is as strong as ever, but your mind has convinced you of something far from the truth. You've built a mountain of misconceptions, thinking I've turned cold. But my heart burns for you, and it hurts to see you lost in the fog of your own mind. What you think is happening isn't the truth. I haven't walked away. I've just been waiting for you to see that the love between us is still very much alive. You've convinced yourself that I don't care, but you couldn't be more wrong. Every day I carry you with me, and it's your own doubts that are creating the distance you feel. The image you've painted in your head of me drifting away isn't real. I'm right here, still loving you, but you've let your mind create walls between us. You've let your mind twist things, believing I've changed, that I no longer feel the same. But every day, my heart beats for you, waiting for you to see the truth. The fear in your mind has turned me into someone I'm not. I haven't let go of us, but you've let your thoughts convince you of something that simply isn't real. You've created a whole narrative where I've moved on, where my love has faded. But none of that is true. I'm still here, waiting for you to see that you've been misled by your own fears. I wish you could step out of the story you've told yourself and see me clearly. I'm still here, still loving you, but you've let doubt cloud your view. The misconception you've built is hurting us both. I haven't changed, and I haven't let go, but your mind has convinced you otherwise, and it's breaking my heart. You've created a distance between us with your own thoughts. The truth is, I've never been more sure about us, but you've let your mind convince you of a false reality. The story you've told yourself isn't real. I haven't grown distant or cold. It's your fears that have built this misconception, and I need you to see the truth. You think I've stopped loving you, but that couldn't be further from the truth. It's your own doubts that have created this illusion, and it's tearing us apart. You've let your mind run wild with fears that aren't based in reality. I'm still here, still in love, but you've built walls around your heart that I'm struggling to break through. The narrative you've crafted in your head is pulling us apart. I wish you could see that my love hasn't changed, but your thoughts have taken over, creating a false story. You've created this idea that I've moved on, that I've lost interest. But the truth is, I'm still here, loving you just as much as I ever have. You've let fear take over your heart, creating a version of me that doesn't exist. I'm still here, still devoted, but you've let your mind run away with doubt. You've allowed your mind to turn me into someone I'm not. I haven't left, I haven't changed, but you've convinced yourself otherwise, and it's breaking my heart. The misconception you've created is like a fog between us. I'm still here, loving you, but you've let doubt cloud your vision of who I truly am. You've let your thoughts twist things, believing I've pulled away. But I'm still right here, waiting for you to see that nothing has changed except the story in your mind.